We are building a new suburb today, and this will be very close to our farming area, so we can call it a farming suburb. But first of all, let me just remind you that this episode was recorded on our live stream that I do every second or third day. So there is no schedule yet. So you have to subscribe to my channel to be able to see when that's happening, but it's usually at night on the Australian Eastern Standard Time. But here we go. This is our current farming area, and this is where I'm planning to expand the city. But up there on the left side is where I'm building this new area just off the roundabout in here. And I think this will actually be a nice addition there. I'll keep using this more organic style of roads, and obviously our goal here is to keep using the bicycle paths and as much as I can. And I'm just choosing here from the types of roads that we have which one will fit better. I will have some issues with this one, which is the one that I'll choose, but then I'll change for the one on the left and everything will work perfectly. So I just left that road in there so I could just pick it and start building things. But as I go, we have that nice mod, which is the picker, so I can just click on the road that I want and that'll be automatically picked, and we don't need that anymore. But I'm doing the layout here. That is not a lot of thought put into that. I think what I want to see here is a city that just grew from a small beginning over there, and then they start building houses around here and roads, and that is a little bit messy and going all around and nothing much planned. So that's what I'm going for, which is basically what we did on the farming area over there. So that is, although the farming is very condensed all together, this will be a little bit more spread out. I'm still using all the area, but it will be just low density. So that's all we have there. And going back here, we have someone just on the way there causing this traffic. I just thought this very funny because that's this car here going to the pharmacy, and it's a Fiat 500, and it was causing all this traffic because probably he passed out on the car trying to get to the pharmacy, and that happened. Anyway, we are back to the city and let's keep building this. I was just there because I was connecting all the pipes. And here is where I start having some issues with the roads. We have these signs of not connected, and I did realize that these roads, they are actually one way. And that's because they were not showing the lanes, the changing lanes when I was testing on just a stretch. And then I had to change everything. But again, you can see these paths where the bike lane goes to the other side and you have to redo everything, but you still have same issues on this one. And if I'm not wrong, on some place it's just one way as well. These roads are just not working for me. But I look at other options, and as I mentioned, I end up selecting this one, which was the one on the left at the beginning of the video, and then this just works. This is perfect. There's just one place where I'll have to change it around, but it's just a left click of the mouse. There you go, and this is fixed. So much better. Still works the same. We have parking on one side, the bike on the other one, and it's looking pretty nice, I would say. So we're moving on now to zoning, and this main road here will be all about commercial, and in the middle there we will have all the residential. And what I'll do, I'll actually make this a little bit more mixed zoning on all this area, although the commercial will be concentrated in that main avenue. We'll have some smaller buildings spread across that area. And here I am again, just choosing the path lanes, the bike lanes rather, and I was choosing one that would handle both pedestrians and bikes. So we chose this one, and we are collecting all areas over there. Again, I'm trying to make some curves there, trying to keep the same layout and making sure that this all fits together, so it doesn't look weird and it's still very it works as it should. So I think we are spending a little bit more. As you can see, we don't have as much demand for residential, so I'm adding a little bit more commercial, and I try to spread it out. And I will add just a couple of office buildings here, just smaller areas, so we have just small buildings, just so we keep using this demand for industrial and keep growing. So I'll just clean the area, remove all these trees, and we are getting on the next stage, which is adding some trees at the end of the map there, because that area won't be growing anymore. That's the end. And I'm adding some more industrial here for the farming area, just again to use that demand and bring up the population in here. And yeah, I think we are almost done with all the zoning. I want to build a park in there later on. Won't be done in this episode. I think I'll dedicate probably one episode for that. But I'm adding services now, so medical clinic, I'll add 2 in this case, not a big hospital. I'm adding the, it's not the elementary school, it's the community school. That's the one I've added in there. And I'm not adding any high school at the moment. I think for this area we will go slow with that. I don't want everyone overeducated and then we don't have place for them to work on. So I'm adding a policy to all the city to encourage biking. So as you can see, the little icon in there in the suburb tells you that. And I'm adding a new connection here because the other one was so busy and it was starting to cause traffic. That was the only way in and out of the city, and I want to make it a little bit better. And I'm going around, and as we always do, setting with traffic manager the giveaway signs and making sure that it's all properly set up. And here's the node controller. Look at that. Whoa. And it's much better. So I just love the node controller. It makes like the junctions look much better when you change that. So back to the speed build, I will do this across a few of the larger junctions in here and make sure that we have water all across. And we will start working on the intersection marking tool. And this will be a nice one because this time we are also doing it for the bicycles, and this will be the first time I do it for the bikes as well, and I hope you enjoy the final content here. I'll start doing what I always do. I don't think we need to go through all these steps here because I've been doing that every single episode. When the episode is shorter, I might do that, but not this one. So I'm just doing the fillers there, making sure we have all the lines connected, and I'll just set up these areas where we cross all the way and remove the extra lines so we can add the filler on the remaining areas, which is just this one here. Good. For these junctions, I'm still keeping the solid filler. It's not a highway. The highway we are using the chevrons. For this area, goes much better with the solid filler. And now I'm starting to work on the bike paths, and I think I picked the right color there. I was quite surprised that I was able to do that because I usually have trouble with that. But anyway, we hit another milestone, 5,500 people in the city and growing, so it looks very nice and very good. This is our first real suburb, so that initial area, we'll get rid of that. But before talking about that, let's jump in and see how I just do the filler here. So it's basically how you set up any other filler. You just hold Alt and click on the red dots. You have a standard filler, and then you just select the color you want and solid. I save that as a template, so I can just click there and apply that template, and that's done. So as easy as that, we are good. So back to the speed build, but yeah, that first area that we did, we'll get rid of that, so this is just money making, and we do have a lot of money now, which is fantastic. But this is the first real suburb that we have, and I'm almost finishing this junction, and hopefully you will like it as I do. Let's take a look at how this looks, and that's so nice. Like, it was a long time just making this junction, but it's completely worth it. I just love that. Now I'm doing the other junctions as well. I'm doing just the bigger junctions. I'm not doing the smaller roads. I don't think it's worth wasting the time doing that. So when we have big junctions like those, like 2 4 lanes roads, we will do that. But then I decided that it would make sense to do these bike fillers on these junctions as well. Not crossing, I don't think I would do crossing on all of that, but it does make sense to have it at least on the corners like this and on the left side there going straight, because I think it makes sense and it looks good. I think I'm going more for the looking good part than for anything else. I think this is currently my favorite mod, and I'm using that a lot and I'm enjoying this part. It might be sometimes a little boring to watch, but I think the end result makes it worth it, and if we need to make that, we need to make it, right? We have to spend the time and make sure that we do what needs to be done. But look how good it looks when you add all those corners and it all matches with everything that you've done. So it's just nice, you know, and it's something that I really, really enjoy doing. But we are approaching the end here, and I want to get a ride on this car here, just so you see these junctions again. Look at this, like this is really, really nice. It just feels so good going through this road. Like, it looks good, feels good, and it's so nice. I know that there's a lot of detailing that I need to do. I haven't been doing that at all, apart from those trees that I put at the back there. But I think like we spending the time on these details on the road with the node controller and intersection marking tool, it's making a lot of difference. And when we start doing the rest of the detailing, everything will come so alive. And by the rest of the detailing, it's probably, I'm talking about like small plants, trees, rocks, and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, this will be it for this episode, and on the next one we'll start working on some areas here, start filling those gaps that are left. As I mentioned, I want to build a parking there, and I think that will go very nicely, and then I'll grow more this area as well. I won't stop there. But yeah, thanks again. And I hope you enjoy the live stream. If you watch it, I hope you enjoy this shorter version of this episode. And let me know your thoughts in the comments and what you think, how I should grow the city, how I should grow this area or the farming industry. If you want to see something or have any ideas, let me know. And don't forget to give it a like as well, because it helps me a lot. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.